So then I told him, oh, ha ha ha, that tickles. How odd. No, don't desist. I think I might like it. Further data collection is required for accurate assessment. I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for trespassing is execution. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible at this time. Resident count is as follows: 3,071. Resident deaths, including but not limited to executions, are as follows: 1,684. Resident escapes are as follows: 0. The interior can be chilly. Take a scarf with you, Captain. I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me, in the event that you do not return. Understood. If you die or are incarcerated for life, I can generate a new ID for the next captain. I would prefer if you return, though. Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am receiving a transmission from the prison's docking authority now.
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security installation. Your presence here is an explicit violation of UDL corporate policy. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been filed and notarized, at which point your vessel will be seized and you will be executed. I wager it'll take a bit longer than it takes you to lose your patience and storm out of your ship looking to get shot. To be honest, that'd make my job a lot easier. You come out, we shoot you full of holes, and then everyone goes about their day worry-free. Except you. You'll be dead. All right. I'm feeling generous. I'm transmitting the idea of a productive, law-abiding employee so you can see what one looks like before you die. Anyway, Tartarus Docking Authority signing up. Hang on. Another ship just pulled into your dock. Wait, is that from the groundbreaker? What the? Pay no mind to that. Just have a pleasant day.
Transmission terminated. Biometric ID received. Transferring data to external cartridge. How can I be of assistance?
Dust accumulation analysis. 2.5 years. Thank you, customer. Sam. We guarantee it's the only sanitation and maintenance unit you'll ever need.
captain did right by us once.
What?
Now it's
What
ours.
was that?
The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I'm free. Push on, my guy.
Garbage out the airlock. Great. More
Processing data.
I'm going in!
Resetting threat level.
Groundbreaker doesn't need trash like you.
Panic beginning.
Who's that? Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff. Oh, that's great. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. I'll get out of your way.
No frick!
Area Citation Assessment. The Labyrinth on Tartarus. Task classification. Easy peasy.
They say nobody's ever broken out of the labyrinth. Didn't say nothing about breaking in, though. Lead the way, boss. I got your back.
Not so fast. Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff. Oh, no. Don't tell anyone.
system full of security crime and records indicate you have already been identified as non. Error. Binary detected. Binary has been deprecated since Tripinary. We appreciate your...
Lawbreaker, I saw that! Gas gas is incoming!
Let's go, troops. Stellar Base counting on us.
Are you new here? I didn't... Oh.
Are not equipped to provide medical aid.
Let's go, troops. Stellar Base counting on us.
Are you new here? Oh. My...
Well, look who it is. I'll be damned. I was and I see you've brought the kid along. Babysitter's...
Yeah, keep talking, pal. I'll just keep thinking.
And... oh, I had heard you were dragging around a repurposed janitorial mechanical.
Interactive database updated. The unique organic substance labeled Chairman.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want... My word! You've correctly identified... It's a wonder what Phineas saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he? Fine, he isn't working for us per se, but that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know. Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through. Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up?
Are you kidding me? We're out here trying to...
I'm making actual progress towards stabilization. Oh, right. This coming from the psychopathic out... We do... You are a captain of act... Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were... I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused. Fine. If you survive.
Are you out of your mind? Rockwell's the biggest monster in Halcyon. I've had enough. You even think about cooperating with this? You're dead.
If you're gonna place more faith on this brat than the chairman of the fucking colony...
Jackass is incoming!
right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So, get in there and
Bus is about to blast the
fight!
last boat. Fugitive's a fugitive. Let it go.
Take them down!
You, ain't feeling jittery, are you? Because I'm not.
Difficult job ahead? Consider equipping a pack of Sam's special solvent stain-out remover. It's ruthless on residual blood splatter.
Captain, you've been working with Dr. Wells from the beginning. When we moved, you've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order. I'm afraid I'm aware of your diplomatic talents, Captain. You have a gift for all your talents. Dr. Wells is being held in my custody. All that's left to do is put down this riot, arrest you, and then get on with the bloody... In that we are in agreement. An end to violence is precisely what I want. You were one of my finest agents once. I don't want to do... I don't, you perfidious turncoat. You know... Fair enough. This prison is equipped with an automechanical warden. I've had it programmed to eliminate... And don't worry, I will inform...
Hey, Bob! Watch this!
One order of chicken fan coming up.
Come down, boss! That was what you wanted, right? Go watch the field!
taking in the scenery?
Soon to be backwards. Wrong tool for the job.
I got the guy!
Industrial stain! Mode activated.
Out of my way! Right, boss!
Why won't you just die?
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was much... And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue... I'm all right, thanks to you. Akande wanted my cooperation. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my... You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save House. I would like nothing more than to celebrate this... Earth has gone dark. We haven't received... 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they...
Hold on, Doc. Are you telling me the Earth went dark 3 years ago?
They've been incredibly effective at concealing the truth. Right now, the only people... We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth. Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds. And then, we're going to need a leader. and I can't imagine a better person for the job. When I revived you, I thought you were going to help. I had our roles reversed, you see. You're the one who's going to save us all. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it apart... We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed. Our future is uncertain.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. Adelaide McDevitt replaced Reed Thompson as the leader of Edgewater. She and her followers transformed Edgewater in their image. Anyone loyal to Reed was pressured into leaving town, and those who stayed behind adapted to her way of life. Adelaide transformed the old cannery into a new garden. The nearby Edgewater Cemetery provided a convenient source of fertilizer. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, The board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Though Parvati eventually grew comfortable aboard the Unreliable, she never quite came out of her shell. She seemed to prefer the company of Ada to the crew, and she could often be found neck-deep in cables and grease, telling Ada funny stories from her childhood. While the colony fell into chaos, she found an island of relative peace with Ada, and they formed an unusual bond. She decided to remain aboard the Unreliable permanently as its chief and sole engineer. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.